afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland, your Lord and Master. We're off here to a 1 versus 1 on Langalascar. Between the north, we got Barton, fighting here for the Soviet Union, Socialism. Comrade Stalin, rolling out here with the 3rd Guards Tank Corps. In the south, we got Fortune, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Holding the line here valiantly with the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division, tasked with holding the line until an infantry division can relieve them and they can be shipped off elsewhere to the eastern front where they will be needed just as much. We've got Jaeger Infantry immediately by the chosen for him, and Barton here with Guard Rifles. Both players are very fast, very eager there to get doctrine chosen. Triple mortar bullets by here for Fortune. Triple mortar, that's going to be quite some accuracy there going on. Roughly, well, 13% more efficiency there in that sense. Triple infantry on their hand for Barton. It's going to the MD42 start here for Fortune with conscripts Maxims here for Barton. Barton's only playing out to the slightly less than usual build, but not, totally novel or anything. I mean, Maxim heavy builds do happen from the Soviets, but they are, in 1 versus 1s, I would say less common. They're not amazingly uncommon. It's just more players go for conscript heavy builds. So going to arriving there, Pioneers heading westwards. Engineers moving up eastwards here for Barton. This conscript rolling out here behind an old tractor. My God, look at this thing! You do mean my Stalin because we don't believe in gods anymore. Yes, my Stalin. My Stalin! Look at this thing! We have to use horses and now we're being suppressed. There by the MD42 as Fortune is actually playing it pretty aggressively there, a bit risky in some ways, but of course you can catch it upon off guard with it. It of course is quite effective. Morgan is around there for Fortune, 93rd Panzergrenadiers. Pioneers are going westwards here, very slowly. We'll have to see how Fortune continues up here, eastern side there. Fuel pump secured. He's going to be a hit there a bit in terms of resource. So there you go. Trying to get out of the house with him. Fortune constant flank, or gun is flanking. He's going to rush for the house. They're putting up there a slight hedgehogging there against the conscripts. Being a bit stuck there, and that's not going to be an efficient engagement to you. That's for Barton. I mean, he's best he can achieve is stalling for time. The problem is, his Fortune bringing up more fire pumps here. The MD42 just having away there. The conscripts very much risk just dying pointlessly. I mean, he's so far yet to deliver any single kill. Oh, there we go now, man, on the MD42 this time around. Maximum in from the north. Fortune clearly is not anticipating that. He's actually to retreat the MD42. You see that, in fact, Barton is flanking up behind him, trying to punish Fortune for an otherwise aggressive move to, I would say, almost excellent degree, but really good counter move there. Barton is going to have to retreat the MD42. In fact, it's about to get wiped here. It's on the close to getting wiped on the conscripts. If you can see the MD42, that'd be massive here for Barton in the early game. Massive. And bad luck there for Barton. The machine gun got away with the tiniest of sliver of health. You can barely notice it. Barely notice it. That's just how little health that MD42 gunner had left. Like, the only thing that keeps him marching is basically the starch from all the potatoes he's been forced to eat the last days, because he's got nothing else but potatoes. And on the maximum on the way there for Barton. So double conscript, double maximum versus Fortune. Who doesn't get a wipe in the conscripts either. That'd certainly be a bit unfair if he did. And there you go, man, sneak on the maximum here, flanking with the Grenadiers. Quick work there by Fortune. As all of this is happening, by the way, the Pioneers are just casually up the western side here, unraveling Barton's front line there like a cheap rag. Guns with their assaulting forts for the motherland. Grenadiers force back there for Fortune. He's just keeping up the pressure otherwise. Sometimes we'll go for G33s. Mortar out, take up on the way there as well. I mean, certainly with a lot of maxims out, a mortar's going to be pretty good for the Germans. And never mind if Barton decides to bring up his own mortar, counter mortar is going to be quite helpful as well for Fortune. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to go for a Granadenwerfer. It makes a lot of sense. Tellermine's down here. He's trying to sort of cut off Barton ahead of time. In terms of light vehicles, looking down some of the paths and roads. Troops are reinforcing, healing up a bit there using self-supplied medical supplies. There you go, engineers push back. Question is, of course, did Barton notice Fortune laying down the Tellermines there, or did he miss it? Certainly a possibility he did. 3rd conscript on the way there for Barton. So triple conscripts into double maxims. That's more of a Wehrmacht opening build, but you can do it as a Soviets. It's just a lot less common. And normally, I mean, again, if the Soviet players going for anything, you just go heavy on the maxims. But right now, Barton's actually going for an interesting mix of infantry and maxims here. Though he's certainly having a few bumps on the road there thanks to Fortune's aggressive play here. Fortune really close to being able to equip his men with G43s. He's really close, but he's not quite there yet. He's not quite there yet. Mortify against the Maxim here. MD42 in a bit more forward position here. Engineers with flamethrowers. Sadly not quite within range, and while they could sort of try and get ahead there, they do risk getting suppressed before they get sort of close enough with the flamethrower. And while the flamethrower itself does not something actually drop, the problem is the reload speed drops also markedly. That means the maximum the flamethrower won't be doing that much damage. Mortar here being flanked with the counter-scope move here by Barton. Looking to isolate here Fortune's machine gun and punish me again for extending so far. We got D4 diffusion on the way there for Fortune as well. Fuel pump being harassed. Good counter move here by Barton. Not just focusing where Fortune is, but also focusing on where he is and hitting him hard, then trying to outmaneuver him. So really good counterplay there. That's going to put some pressure on Fortune. Is going for the light to make a nice company. 2-2s could be used alongside half-techs. That way, you know, to use mobility to counter Barton's play there as well, in particular the Maxims. You could also aim for Panzer Grenadiers, though the Jaeger Infantry, I do think Fortune's more likely to at least go for one Jaeger command squad instead of Panzer Grenadiers. Since cost-wise, you're getting something you've been close to the level of firepower of the Panzer Grenadiers, but with more durability in the form of 5-man plus smoke grenades and Panzerfaust doesn't hurt either. So I don't think Fortune's going to go for Panzer Grenadiers, at least not right away. In fact, I'd be surprised if he went for them over the Jaeger command squad. Maxim never rushed away. Medics up for Barton. Mortify raining through there, crashing through the roof. That was perfectly good house, you fascist bastards. You're about to say asshole, weren't you? Well, I try to be civilized. I try. 2-2 on the way there for Fortune, like to punch his B-wagon, which is a fun fact was actually based on the civilian car design. In fact, both of Germany's sort of early war armoured cars were, even the 4-wheel or 8-wheel one actually. So a little fun fact there, by the way. Little fun fact. The 2-2 itself would be phased out around 1944 in favour of a 250 half-track sort of armoured car version, since the 2-2 was not very good off-road, which for reconnaissance vehicles is actually a bit of a flaw. So ultimately that did not see through the entire war there. Little fun fact, there you go. Units being suppressed here heavily, forced away, comes up, then getting the Grenadiers. No models up for Barton, so he can't rush the machine gun otherwise. But still, Barton here trying to outmaneuver, trying to play around it, pressing and harassing, very good. Hitting the dirt, making invasion time for the 2-2 just to drive out. Hey, I heard you called for a taxi. To where? Hell. Yet. Plastering them with heavy fire up close. Like, versus the autocannon, hitting the dirt does not do them a lot of good. We can see they're forced to retreat, though. Insane Optimism is actually very close to losing the MD42. They might actually get a wipe now instead. And again, Maxim there forcing the machine gun out there. Just in the nick of time there. Another really close call there for Fortune, to be honest. He can't really go for the 8 command squad now. 2-2 rolling head now into tank number 2 for Barton. He can go for Guardsman. Oh, anti-tank grenade off there. Good, damaging the engine. Counter there, constantly taking heavy fire from the 2-2. He really wants them dead. He wants them dead. So close there. But he managed it. No Jaeger command squad. No, nothing else there from Fortune. First light machine guns ready here for Barton. Jaeger command squad does arrive here for Fortune. 2-2 continues to roll back. He's just hammering away at the advancing conscripts. Grenadiers being forced out here with Maxim lacking the tools to deal with it. And there you go, Oorah to get finished off here with an anti-tank grenade, having already taken it down with some of the bullets. Still a bit more to go. Then again, until the 2-2 gets its armor buff, the counters actually still have a good chance of taking out from the front. Though all the infantry moving in there to finish off the conscripts, I think, is going to force Barton here to retreat. He can't deal with the 2-2, and there we go, retreat. He was close though. He was incredibly close there, Barton. But a bit about like they again did not do him any favours. Comes there, I think, exposed too far without any sort of serious support. Mortar on the way for Barton. I'm a bit surprised it took him that long to consider it. We're holding up some of the German infantry here. Still, Barton's actually in control of both viewpoints compared to Fortune. And that actually gives Barton here chances to rush ahead for light vehicles now compared to Fortune. It's going to be a bit behind there. He could even try and push for like K1s or T-34s. So it'll be interesting to see what path Barton here takes versus Fortune. It will be interesting to see. Troops hitting reinforcing. And rushing straight for the curveball in there. Fortune shows no mercy to the Marxists. Yeah, command squad then getting the conscript, pulling up here close as well. Hitting the doesn't look like hitting the dirt there, doesn't need to. 2-2 moving up here, pushing back Barton's forces there, but even then the damage has been done. Fortune's lost control of both fuel points, and so far it's not doing a lot. He is taking up though, which is good. Barton comparatively is not, despite having the fuel lead here, and certainly might be indicating he is planning to sort of rush ahead for the mechanized. At which point he will likely try and force out a K1 heavy tank to let her put pressure on Fortune. I mean, if he can get out one fast, Fortune's going to struggle since the K1 can soak up a lot of damage from most of the standard German sort of armour. And even Pack 40 struggle with it, so I mean, a K1 could be a really good choice here. Tank, you leave a tank command going up there for Barton and the 3rd Guards Tank Corps. Maxim moving up, engaged with the Pioneers to flanking up with Maxim. Constantly moving in, sweeping forwards with the submachine guns in hand. Leave no survivors, even if they surrender. No survivors. Those are the rules. Telemann is still there. 2-2 with the damage engine around the Maxim. He's in negative cover. This is pretty ambitious by Barton. To be honest, there you go. He realizes that is in fact too ambitious and retreats. Hit the dirt, close quarters combat here versus the 2-2. Country what they could move in and finish off and then to tank grenade. Probably should, to be honest. Or does he think he can get away with that? There we go. Popping an anti-tank grenade right through it. Finally putting Fortune's 2-2 out of misery at the same time as he's taking advantage of all the attention drawn to the 2-2. He also sweeps up east, west, and gobbles up the fuel points there for the fatherland. Good work there. Barton, though, is taking up. He is going further for the mechanized armor company there, threatening to pull in for T-34s or KD-1s. Which will certainly be a bit difficult for Fortune to deal with since he's got no anti-tank. His 2-2's down, he's got one Telemann in an awkward spot, and fuel-wise he is nonetheless a bit behind Barton. Particularly if Barton gets back some of the fuel points of both of them, it's going to be really sticky here for Fortune until he can sort of change things around. So Tech Mechanized Armor Company going up there, hitting the western fuel point, hitting the point here as well. Mortify against the Jaeger Command Squad. Maxim versus the Grenadiers in the centre. Ooh, but we got a rifle grenade here attempted. There we go. Not in fact attempted, but actually done. But there you go. Fuel cut off once more for Fortune. Barton isn't quite secured it yet, but he's likely going to be able to get it. At which point he can really be pulling ahead fast, in which case he's likely, I think, going to go for the KV-1 since Panzer IV struggle with him. The Stu does struggle a bit with the KV-1 heavy tank in game, that is. In the actual war, by this stage of the war, they wouldn't have any issues since the K1's armor wasn't that good by this point of the war, like there's originally aiming for like the IS-2, and even the interim solution by this point of the war, the KV-85, you know, was running into some issues. So we'll see. I mean, he could go for the T-34-76, but the K1 heavy tank is very much an option. Unfortunately, I think is reading the writing on the wall and is going for a Pack 40 here. Again, he's going to need, I think, at least a second one, at least a Stu to work with it, because the K1 could theoretically just throw up to the Pack 40 and wipe it out. But there you go, ambush pushing near with the conscripts against the Grenadiers, submachine guns tearing for the fascists, leaving them howling in pain. We actually got an ambush machine gun here from Fortune, hidden by a fence, somehow managing to blend in with the fence. Remember, Otto, you are defense, be defense, think defense. And the Russians will never be able to see you until we open up this machine gun gewehr. That is the Zen of Deutschland. Zen? What's that? You know, it's a Asian thing. I thought we were supposed to be really cool guys. Oh, there we go. Point blank ambush with incendiary piercing rounds. Fortune, you steel ball bastards. doing heavy damage to the conscripts, taking them apart in a matter of seconds, leaving them screaming and dying. And there you go, the Maximus getting assaulted here by Grenadiers and the 8 command squad. Could see he's going to have to retreat right past the incendiary piercing wielding machine gun. Oh, a white there for Barton, heavy loss, but he's really close out to the IS-2. He's really, not the IS-2, but the KV-1, but still, that's a big loss for Barton. Bit of a mistake, that one which Fortune was able to punish him for quite aggressively, though I don't think he was, again, anticipating an ambush machine gun because, well, quite frankly, most players don't. That's one of the benefits of the machine gun in ambush mode, because no one expects the ambush machine gun, not even the Spanish Inquisition. Mostly because they didn't have machine guns back then. And there you go, Barton calling in the K1 heavy tank, the Clement Voroshilov. And there you go, artillery strike in from Fortune. I think so. I'm trying, catch some units from ship rolls just to make it harder here for Barton to win out of his base. There you go, engineers trying to run through the barrage. Get away with it, they get away with it. Barton, though, is still in control of most of the map, but has paid a high price in men to actually achieve such control. Plus, of course, he put his economy a bit on hold to be able to get out the K1 as fast as possible. So it's a bit risky, but so far it seems to be paying off. And with the amount of fuel he gets, he can actually quickly follow up with a second K1 or even a T-34 from 6. Second mortar heart here for Barton to help counter sort of Fortune's supporting elements. As machine guns, his own mortar. Yeah, command squad there close to Veteran 2 actually. Being reinforced, is healed up. Actually, he's still being healed up now. And there we go. KV-1 heavy tank out here for Barton. The Russians, though, used a variety of heavy tanks throughout the war. They even used Churchill tanks that were supplied from the British, and some of them actually saw usage, I think, in 1944-45 even. So the Russians were very much believers in just using whatever they got in stock. It's a little fun fact there. K1 moving up the eastern side, going for the exposed machine gun crew. Forcing Fortune there to fall back in the face of Soviet heavy army. Does go for the Panzer IV despite knowing the K1 is out, and then again the Panzer IV generally does not fare very well. But there we go, Pack 40 hits on the K1, penetrating hit. Another penetrating hit. He bypasses it, though again he can actually take several hits. As you might notice, 2 hits, and it's definitely not at half health, maybe 3/4. And there you go, 1 hit on the Pack 40. Constantly following up, he could actually wipe the Pack 40 and steal it. That's going to be really bad news for Fortune, as it means his Panzer IV is going to have an even harder time doing anything. Lost the mortar crew there as Fortune rolls straight up through the centre. Good short job there, taking advantage of Barton, no folks. And there you go, wipes the Pack 40. K1 that gets a damaged engine. Mortar being stolen here by Fortune. Now he's going to be the one with double mortars. Oh dear. Panzer IV's going for the K1 with close to half health, though. The Panzer IV might have a better chance versus the K1. Not an amazingly better one, but better. There you go, penetrating hit. So nice little raid there with Fortune, catching Barton off guard. Who's too focused on his KV-1 heavy tank. Even cut off the resource. This is going to slow down the next thing you get. But there you go, lots of damage on the Panzer IV. Anti-tank grenade going off, down to half health, and the K1 escapes here. The wrath of the Wehrmacht for now. Almost gets the Panzer IV. He's actually going to try and see hit there for a finishing blow, but realizes he can't catch up. So K1 is now rolling back. Top ceiling reinforcing. 1 units on the way there for Barton since he's lost the previous one, so he can't actually fix the K1 heavy tank. But that mortar steel there is going to be quite helpful for Fortune. And quite sad for Barton. He's following up with a Maxim there. K1 continues to roll back as he waits for engineer support. Maxim flanking Maxim. And there you go, K1 receiving most needed repairs. Now we'll have to see if Barton tries to pull for a T-34 from 6 just swifter support, and that way gaining numerical superiority. Or if Barton is actually fully committed to getting as many K1s out as possible, in which case he'll be saving up for that one. He's also got a bit of munitions there, some of which might be saved up for the IL-2's attacks. So that way inflict incredible harm there to Fortune's infantry. So let's flank in, there's the K1 right in front of them. Engineers force retreating from the ambush. And there you go, roughing it on the mortar. Or is it the Maxim? Oh, it is the Maxim. But he's close to losing the Grenadier squad here to the K1. He is very close, but the last man does get away there successfully. K1 pulling into the base further. Barton might want to consider acting additionally, even if he's getting more like engineers out there, he's still going to need more to just repair his tanks faster. But it does seem like Barton might be aiming here for a second K1, in which case he's going to begin rolling up with 2 heavy tanks versus Fortune, who's got 1 Panther 4 out. He's going for another Pack 40 that way, help deal more glorious damage to the K1s. Sergey, how many times have I told you, stop pouring vodka into the driving wheel? I mean, why do you even do that? For good luck. How does that even work? Well, idiots. Panther hanging back with Pioneer support. March was up. They just, he doesn't run into a surprise there from Barton. He desires no Polish presence. MD4 to the ambush camouflage. That's the Maxim is camouflaged up there as well. Comes to the flanking MD4 2. But if we could see what, oh good God, Fortune's not paying attention. Mortify the Lancer hit there, but doesn't get any kills. And the MD42 gets wiped. Oh no! He's staggering loss here for Fortune. His Veteran 3 ambush machine gun got slaughtered. Bit risky, honestly, and bit of a punishment for sneaking out there for Safar, but in this case he's going to be able to wipe machine gun crew before they can get away with it. Just a single shot. Scissors Heinz reporting 3 Russian thieves dead. Shot with a high explosive round. Is that how you deal with thieves? In the German army, yeah. It's actually in the code book. Paragraph 7, section 8b6. Thieves are to be shot with high explosive rounds on sight. But there you go, Panther 4 rolling here straight for the K1. K1 not been fully repaired, he suffered heavy damage for the K1s. Might give Fortune Panther 4 a chance to knock it out. Barton is very close to the K1. At the same time, air support is raining death down here, but he's losing a Maxim. Good God, Barton is getting pulverized here with Fortune at the moment. And there you go, the IL-2 Storm Mix though are inflicting heavy damage there on some of Fortune's forces. And not getting any wipes, which is really what he needs now to really turn things around, I think. But he is very, very close to the second K1. And with 2 K1s, he should be able to put some serious pressure on Fortune. Unless Fortune goes for, I don't know, more Stooks or Panther 4 more. In which case, again, supported by Dial Packs, there might be some issues. Smoke screen down here to come and advance on the victory point. Good work. Second K1 the weather for Barton. And there you go, going to be spotted by the IL-2s. Oh dear, close here, close, but they do manage to get away there in reasonably one piece. And there you go, Barton secures back both Maxims. Fortune following with the Flak Panther, possibly to deal with infantry support, but maybe also to deal with the air support. Though I would say the Osprey is not an amazing counter to it. The problem is usually, like, it's just too slow. Like, most of the time the IL-2 will do most of the damage in, like, the first pass or 2. And the problem is the Osprey's going to need at least, like, a couple more passes before it has a, you know, reasonable chance of taking them down. So the Ospreys usually tend to be better just murdering infantry or support weapons. Barrage on the core point? Where did he get the flare from? That seems weird. I mean, like, Jaeger command squads can pop a flare, but have yet to... Oh! No? Oh, the mortar. Wow, I guess it was the mortar then. Oh, well, we got Barton now with 2 K1 heavy tanks out against Fortune. We'll have to see if Fortune realises he's got Osprey versus 2 K1s. Pack 4s are moving up. Second Pack 4 moving up as well here. No infantry support for the K1s, a bit riskier, so Barton doesn't necessarily know what he's walking into and can't immediately support the K1s if they get into sort of a sticky situation. There you go, a team for the tank from the north. Might have been his plan actually just to bait them in, but we can see the machines had to come up against that. He could smoke the Pack 40s, to be honest, like lay down a smoke screen around here and then rush them with the K1s. That could be quite effective here for Barton. That could be quite effective. But for now, falling back with the K1 heavy tanks. Machine gun there holding up. No ambush camouflage on that one. K1 setting out again. Troops are pressed, being pinned down. And there you go, K1's opening up. Pack 40 shooting back. Both shot bounds of max range. That's a bit of bad luck there for Fortune. Smoking down there to support the press the machine guns there, at least being unable to shoot, allowing the gunners to get close enough for the G33 to just win the engagement. And there we go, except for Fritz, who stands for up. Never mind. Got the gunner. Got the gunner. So nice counterattack here from Barton, again supported by 2 heavy tanks and machine guns alike, so he is applying heavy pressure to Fortune. Grenadiers out in the open, exposed to the heavy tanks. If the heavy tanks could kit. K1's opening up here in the Grenadiers. The light cover though is helping them, making it a bit harder to hit. Therefore the K1's got a Stu following it for Fortune, bringing up even more into tank weapons. And now we can see Barton's back in Macatoli versus Fortune. The victory points wise, he's still behind. But fuel wise, he is nonetheless pulling ahead here of Fortune. In theory, he could actually go for 3rd KV1. 3 KV1s. Those can soak up a lot of damage. Also noting another R2 attack ready. And he calls it in, he will not be expecting the Osprey, I imagine. Fortune's keeping that one in reserve. K1's attacking here, supported by the air support, infantry up here, mortars and whatnot as well. Jaeger Command Squad taking 8 hits. Jaeger Command Squad in fact almost wiped out. Panzerfaust went off too early. Going in with the Pack 40s. Stuke moving in, that's going to catch the K1 here, flanking it. There you go, well, we can see now Barton realises he must have hit further hit. There you go, aircraft shot down. Lost the unit, leads down to just the Jaeger Command Squad and the Grenadiers. But he's going to get one of Barton's K1s. There we go, there we go. Barton did not anticipate a Stuttgart there from Fortune. And did not support his K1s properly there. Costing him 1. He might lose the second one. He got the extra family for Barton, but losing both K1s here to Fortune is going to be quite a blow that should help Fortune overcome the fact he lost a lot of infantry by now. And there you go, Panzer IV knocks it out. But he loses both Pack 40s, so they are within Fortune's reach, so he can just recruit them. So that went not too well there for Barton. Quite the aggressive reversal here, quite the aggressive reversal. Looks like Osprey got actually both aircraft, but again they did manage to do some damage, they did manage to get some wipes against Fortune. Of course, keep in mind the Osprey's more accurate when not moving. It takes a 50% penalty to accuracy. The thing is, most German armour does. Same applies to the Panzer IV. But of course, the Panzer IV with the pinlock machines do have a lot more machine guns, and I think people tend to underestimate the value of machine guns in dealing with infantry. Got the H5 tanks right here for Barton, opening up in the Austrian Flak Panzer. Support them company down for Barton. So he can't actually get any field guns now. He's basically down to HV6s and HV5s to deal with Fortune's armor unless he wants to rebuild it. A lot of pressure here on Barton though from Fortune. Lots of pressure. More to expose to the Jaeger Command Squad. Stuke hanging about there. No pin machine on the Stuke. HV5 shoots, misses. Panzer IV very, very close to its need too. Touching reinforcing. Big counter push here from Barton, catching the Jaeger Command Squad in the open, quickly cutting down Fritz in cold blood. Stuke there for some reason to moving ahead when he needs to move backwards. You got more pioneers for Fortune, probably help recruit weapons, but also just repairs armor. H5 continues to hunt. There we go, gets a good hit. Even gets a kill on one of the pack gunners with a bit of extra damage there from the AoE. Very small AoE by what the H5 has. Fun fact, there were essentially 2 versions of the H5. There was this one, there was a later model which actually sort of meant as an interim version before they could put the SU-100 into production, which had a much more longer sort of hull, sort of make ready for the gun, and even then the SU-100 suffered from being overloaded on the chassis due to the 100mm gun. Seeing a Pack 40 here, losing an engineer squad, that's quite costly there for Barton. Probably lost the unit before he could react there. H5 there, opening up the Osprey, but the Osprey gets a counter squad. Barton is suffering a heavy price here to deliver damage to Fortune, heavy price. Like he's down to just 2 infantry squads now. The Fortune is down to just the Jaeger Command Squad. Both players are starting to really lack infantry, which is certainly, I think, more of a concern here for Barton, since he's not got a lot of armor to always compensate with. Comparatively, I mean, Fortune's got the Osprey and the Panzer IV. He's getting more grenadiers as well, whereas Barton isn't. Oh dear. Still, he's got the Pack 40, which will help versus Fortune's armour. If he can catch it. MD42 opening up from the flank, pushing back the conscripts with heavy, accurate fire. Panzer almost good to go. Stug a bit more to go. Rifle grenade off, a bit too slow for Max and begin opening up. So what's Barton's going to go for next? Another T-34 is going to try and play for the K1 heavy tanks again. Interesting to also worth note here is that Barton is not bothered with guardsmen, although I do think it would help him a lot here throughout this engagement. 6-man squad with deep light machine guns is pretty good versus German infantry if you know how to use them. There you go, Panzer off from Fortune. Victory points wise, Fortune is still enjoying lead here with Barton. And Barton so far is struggling a bit there to, you know, deal with that. But it will start to look like Barton might actually be aiming for either an H-55 or another K1. He's certainly got the resource, at least the fuel, for another T-34, but he's not trying to set up manpower for that, so another K1 seems likely, or a H-55 more, so that way, at least that way, try and take on the armour in the case of the K1, also just deal with the infantry, while being less exposed to the packs and the Stugs. Mortar wiped. Ooh, shoots here. Hit on the Pack 40, farming up, Pack 40 moving in. There you go. Mortar hit on the Pack 40 as well. Good work, good work. Almost got another hit on the Panzer 4. And we got another airstrike out here from Fortune. Not Fortune, from Barton. On Fortune though. On him. Putting pressure on Fortune on his base. Lots of suppression there, damage being done. H-55 coming here to try and take out the Panzer Force. The air raids there, leaving Fortune pinned down in space in the center. Oh, he's not going to get the Panzer 4 in time. 9! Panzer 4 down to the H-55. Another H-55 there for Barton. That is a very awkward loss there for Fortune. Aircraft shot down there into a nearby house, shattering it entirely. Now it's the Stug's turn to suffer. Good God. There you go. Target weak. Pointing might be able to get it. No, he might be able to get it. Almost got it. Main gun out in the H-5. And the Stug takes it out. Vengeance for the Panzer 4 lost. Another Stug on the way. The Fortune still needs more infantry. And Barton needs it as well. This is going to get close though. I mean, Barton's, despite, you know, heavy loss, but able to still turn the game around with some aggressive attacks. A bit of good luck. And basically, I think using the R2 steel mix attacks as a distraction, drawing away attention from the Panzer 4, allowing him to knock it out. There's a Barton in this regard is putting up some sneaky attacks. There you go, Ostrom running ahead, trying to get away with the mortar, but the Ostrom might just be able to put a stop to it. Ah! Oh, he got it, he got it. Second H-5 moving ahead here for Barton for the 3rd Guards Tank Corps. 3rd Panzer Grenadiers, and meanwhile just continue rolling ahead here. Jaeger Command Squad with 29 kills. Osman looking to flank. Stug's getting ready, setting up there for the fatherland. A nasty push of a Fortune. Infantry and armor rolling ahead here. Outmaneuvering poor Barton, leaving him quite in distress. Osman super close to actually 2 Stug. There's about to going to hit the H-5. And there you go. One shot hits, the other misses. About to get the H-5 there. And the H-5 goes down to the Sturmgeschütz. Especially 2 there, and one of them shuts and added. Flak Panzer falling back. Main gun just hammering away at the Russian infantry, gaining kills. The sheer density of Barton's infantry makes it pretty difficult for the Osman to miss. Tournament points left here for Barton. Fortune can go for another Stug. You can just get away with checking up. You could set up for another Ostwind, or you go for a Panzer 4. Like, he's got options there. He's got options. So what is Barton going to do next? Like, it was just briefly looking really great, and then everything just fell apart. There's Fortune counterattacked viciously, leaving Barton in a pretty bad spot.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Flak Panzer opening up there, 18 kills, 19 kills. Pack forward the lands a good hit. Flak Panzer going to go backwards here under intense ration scrutiny. Fortune could consider probably adding machine guns to the Stooks for a bit of added anti-infantry, though it isn't particularly necessary. But wouldn't hurt, I think. Fortune launching a good flank hit, catching Barton's bit off guard there.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
162 left here for Barton. Mortar fire raining down. Both Stooks good to go. And there he goes, adding pin machines for both of them. Very good, sehr good, sehr good. That's what Barton could be. He's playing for another K1 at this stage. I mean, he's got the resource for the T-34, but he's not going for it. I mean, he could go for another HQ5 as well.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Though double Stooks will make it a bit trickier for Barton to counter that. Fixing up the Ostwind. Ambush camouflage being added to the machine guns at this stage, very good. Machine guns added to the Stooks. Barton's still remaining control on the map, but the problem is, at least some on the map, the problem is he's just not got a lot to defend with. He's just been so absolutely beaten silly by Fortune to be able to keep his armor alive compared to Barton. But it's not looking good for Barton, it is not looking good. Taking up with the victory points bleeding down as they are here as well. Osman is acting up being a pretty good investment here for Fortune in this case. Pretty good investment. And we got the H5 here, number 3 for Barton. He's basically given up the K1s now. He has given up. Stoke defense with Eastern Fuel Point here. Jaeger Command Squad hiding out, ready to ambush anyone with 35 kills. Osman coming the flank here. And mortars they're blasting away close to 53. Panzer going to be around for Fortune, so in the end he did go for them. Not a bad choice at this stage. H5 almost down there for Barton, who's on the end not going for any guard squads. There you go, Ralph getting off on it. And rushes it before the maximum web before Barton can react. Really good move here by Fortune, really good move. And there you go, pack wiped in a matter of seconds. Nice hit and run there by Fortune, and nice hit and run. Barton slowly moves ahead here. Ready to blast any fastest part. There you go, pack destroyed. Another fun fact about the H5 tank was actually based on the T-34 chassis. I was actually inspired by the German Stug, as the Russians were actually quite impressed by the Stug design. They even made some of their own, in essence, out of captured Panzer IIIs, and some of those ended up in under German control again. So a little fun fact, I think it was called the Su-76I or something like that. Basically a Panzer III with a Su-6 gun with a slightly modified chassis. Little fun story there. H5 rolling ahead here for Barton, for the motherland. He's actually equipped the Panzer Gunners with G43s. That's a surprise move there. And there you go, another IL-2 Sturmweg raid. I think that's his 4th, maybe 5th. Black Panzer opening up, and there you go, immediately shoots down. I mean, Adventure 2 has a much better chance of doing it. Obviously, the promise. Holy smokes! Adventure 2 just took down both of them before they did too much damage, I guess. Impressive. But again, without Veterancy, it can take a lot more. It's coming, there you go, got the Stooks attacking. Target weak point. Pack 40 opening as well. Infantry trying to take out the Pack 40. It's not going to work out. 85 trying to escape. He shoots, misses. Aim properly, Fritz, or you're dead. Unit wiped. The Osprey is almost at T3. Stuke in hot pursuit here of the issue 5 Stuke driving about. He trying to crush infantry. Crushing them successfully. Do you think I'll get a medal for murdering some with Stuke like this? I don't think so, Ludwig, and I'm actually glad you're asking about that. Ishvar got away there. Fortune is not inclined to pursue, but at this stage, I think it's GG here. I think it's GG. I don't see Barton winning this at this stage. Stuke taking about time to turn around. There he goes. Shot and takes out the issue 5. Stuke, I think, wiped out something inside space. He took out the remaining country. There you go. Barton surrenders. Barton surrenders. A victory here for Fortune. A victory for the fatherland. A victory for the Sturmgeschütz. A heavy fight here with a lot of back and forth. The tide swung in either direction several times. And then, though, Barton, I think, overreached with his KV-1s. I also think he should have gone for some guardsmen here to support them. And at times, failed to use smoke efficiently versus Fortune line. Fortune, I think, also slowly turned the game around. There were some really close moments of the Bartons close to just breaking Fortune. But Fortune withstood. He held the line for the fatherland. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to your friends. Share it with everyone. If not, send in replay and some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Links. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.